3 years ago, I had a dream. Nothing fancy, not like the famous ones. I don't even remember what it was about, but there was a song, and that song got stuck in my head. At first, I was humming along, losing some words of the original that I dreamed, and it kept being stuck in my head for 2 weeks. Like, 2 long weeks. I don't know about you, but I thought maybe I have to write it down. And so I did, but like I said, I lost some words along the way. So I rewrote the song, made it a complete song, and let it rest for a bit. Writing it out gets it out of your head. Normally. This time, however, it did not. I kept going back to what I remembered of the dream, and how the song was related to it. It was actually not even that great of a story in that dream, and it was mostly about my then crush on Danny Saxbang. I know it is actually Daniel Avidan, but I have this thing where I am crushing on a character that is played by someone, and I will say it is definitely the character and not the real person. This is to distinguish between real life and fiction. But back to the story. The dream was not that important, actually. So I thought, let me write some characters around this song. Should be fun. And I did. I made Amora, a character that was based on my former me, so me from some time ago. I tend to use that as a tool to see how much I have grown. Yeah, I am like that, don't worry. And I made Danny, obviously from Danny Saxbang. So I had a song and I had the characters. But what should I do with this? For a while I was satisfied with just having this little song with characters and thinking up small stories around them. And then the stories got bigger. And then I was like, you know what? I want to make a whole plotline around these two. And then I was like, I want to draw these characters. I have made a lot of progress in my drawing abilities, going from one style to another, and right now I am into drawing anthropomorphic beings. And at first I made Amora, because it was obvious to me she was the main character. Then I made Danny, and you know what, why not Brian as well? So I had Amora and Brian as cats, and Danny as a rabbit. Yeah, that's obvious why. I love cats, and Danny should definitely be a rabbit. And with the plotline growing, I made more characters. There were dogs and cats, foxes, badgers, ferrets, more rabbits, and the plot grew bigger and bigger until I had about 14 chapters worth of plotline. I made it 14 chapters, so all the interesting bits were compacted per chapter. And I drew some ideas together, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if this was going to be an animation? I love animation. Ever since I was young, I adore animated movies. I wrote a novel before this, and my dream is still to have that become famous enough that someone wants to make it, or some animations or an entire animation of that story. I don't think it will become that big though, but it's really fun to think about that. And I had the same with this story, but I don't know. Suddenly I was like, why shouldn't I try to make it into an animation? And I know what you think, there are plenty of reasons to not make an animation yourself. Let alone an animation of a plotline that's already 14 chapters long, and especially if you have never animated before. which was my case. But I am a stubborn being, and I was thinking, I can always try, so I did. I got an animation program called OpenTunes, and I just started. I failed a lot, I made it crash so many times, but I just started looking at clips, I started looking at tutorials on YouTube on how to use the program, finding speed drawings of people making animation. I looked at clips frame by frame to see how they drew things, and I just began. I just started animating. In the meantime, I looked for voice actors. The main character, Amora, would be voiced by a great friend of mine with the nickname Dropje. And you might think, why not voice it yourself? Amora is based off of me. Well, even I thought that would be too much work for one person. And Dropje happily wanted to join the team and did both the voice acting for the first chapter, and I wrote that completely, and she also sung the 2 songs I wanted to get into that first chapter. Songs. Because I am a Disney fanatic and Disney makes musical movies. So I thought I could do the same by making at least 2 songs in every chapter. Of course, the song that started it all off, called Selfish, would appear in the first chapter. I also looked for other voice actors, and I completely went into this project, thinking it would take me 1 year, 1.5 years max. I was also prepared to put money into the project, which I did. I paid all my voice actors and music producers that I hired for this project, and I paid them a decent amount. Some people did not want to be paid, but I quickly made that money into gifts for them. So, for over 3 years, I spent money and time and sweat into this project. For a while, it was all I could think about. It was tough, but worth it. Every time I learned something new, or saw my characters move or speak, that feeling was fantastic. It was hard on me though. The project was a long one, and to me, I did not get the attention, and the project did not get the attention that the project deserved. Next to that, I have my personal problems, and it started to seep into the project. Not in the story or whatever, but I could not animate for longer periods anymore. And then 2020 hit. Next to my personal problems, there was the pandemic, and to top this year off, the animation program started to fail on me. It just couldn't draw straight lines anymore. I looked into other animation programs, and the paid ones are great, but I don't have the money to subscribe or buy the program anymore. Other free animation programs cannot handle the sheer amount of frames I was already making during these 3 years of me making the animation. I was animating on 24 frames a second, trying to not animate on ones but twos, and now the program is so far gone, I cannot even draw straight lines anymore. Everything is wiggly. I tried to help forums, I tried to look for an answer, but I got nothing. There is nothing that will help me, nothing that can help me. There's no one who is contacting me about this problem, so I cannot do that anymore. With everything combined, the project gave me such misery and stress, I decided to stop the animation project. But why are you drawing these characters again then? I hope to hear you say. Well, the animation program is busted, but not my writing or drawing programs. After crying and going through all the stages of mourning, I decided that the story still could be told. Not in animated form, at least not by me, but it could be in comic format. I have drawn these characters so many times that it already supersedes any simple comic. The idea of drawing the same characters over and over again is now not even a hindrance. I love these characters and I love the plotline. I want to tell so many things, and I think the way I can is by making a comic. I will look at the story I've written and see if I need to rewrite some things. I will get into the lore of the worlds and the characters that are important, and I will try to make some parts maybe animated. I can animate very small things with other programs, and now I know how to animate, it will be easier to get into that. But for now the comic will be mostly just still images. So, the project is dead. Long live the project. Thank you for watching this video where I explain what is going on. I hope to see you in the future. I will be linking the website or the blog, not sure what I want to use for it yet, in the description when it's ready. And if you think this idea really is worth some helping, you can leave a comment, subscribe to this channel, or become a Patreon, or even buy a shirt. All those links are in the description as well. Have a great day, and Miss Mama loves you.